Hi everyone, I am here to discuss another writing task, and that is the writing task 2. Okay, so pertaining to IELTS writing task 2, it's going to be common for both academics and the general test takers. Also, this is all about essay writing. So, all through the series of this writing task 2, we are going to learn how to write and handle different essays. Okay, now basically, when it comes to your actual IELTS exam, you might end up getting one of these kinds of essays. Number 1, advantage disadvantage essay. Number 2, problem solution essay. Number 3, opinion essay. And the last one, discussion essay. With each video, I will talk in detail what kind of essay are these, what should be your strategy in order to tackle all these, and how to go about it. Okay, so in this video particularly, I'm going to talk about opinion essay. So before we begin with the first kind of essay, I just want to give you a brief introduction about this entire task 2. Now, writing task 2 is going to be for 40 minutes. So this is the recommended time. So the entire time that you have for handling writing task is 60 minutes. That is 1 complete hour. Out of which, if you remember, we used to spend 20 minutes to handle the task 1. Now you're left with another 40 minutes. And since the task 2 of writing section is more in weightage than the task 1, we will spend more time to handle this one. Okay, and that is the reason 40 minutes is the recommended time. Now, what about the word limit, guys? See, the task 1 was at least 150 words, but the task 2 of writing, that is the essay writing, is going to be at least 250 words. 250 words minimum, guys. Okay, so if you're writing anything below 250 words, you're surely going to receive a penalty. Again, the low band score. And we don't want that. Of course, there is no maximum word limit, so you can go beyond 250 if you can handle your grammar, spelling, and can keep a check on your timing. Right? Another thing that we have to keep in mind is all those parameters. Now, they are same. Task achievement. So, how are we responding towards each kind of question means a lot. That is why our response towards a particular question should be accurate and should be on point. So that is the first parameter, task achievement. After that, we have to use some high range vocabulary. So lexical resource is the second parameter. Third thing is our grammatical range and accuracy. So when it comes to grammatical accuracy, your punctuation marks, your commas, full stops, your prepositions, your articles, your tenses, everything should be in place. About grammatical range, if you remember, I used to talk about using complex sentence structure through your linking devices, by using your connectors, and those sheets are already with you now, so make an extensive use of all those sheets. Okay, fourth parameter is your coherence and cohesion. Now this is essay question, guys, and it is imperative that you maintain that cohesiveness. If you maintain that logical flow, you're going to receive a really good score, right? So keeping task achievement, lexical resources, grammatical range and accuracy, and your coherence and cohesion in mind, let's begin and see how we can approach the essay question. When I'm talking about opinion essay, there are certain most common errors that we all tend to make while writing or handling this kind of essay. First error is not stating our opinion. The essay question will tell you that you have to give your opinion. It will ask you, maybe it can say, to what extent do you agree or disagree? Or it might ask, do you agree or disagree? So these questions mean that you have to come up with some opinion. It can be for the motion or against the motion. Either you can agree with something or disagree, right? But whatever is the case, you have to bring in your opinion. So the most common mistake is that students are not giving their opinion. The question will clearly state that you have to choose one side of the argument, and if you fail to do this, you will receive a low band score because you have not achieved the task, the first parameter. Getting my point, guys? After that, the second most common error is you start giving your opinion for both the views. So you talk about that I agree with this, and you also talk about disagreement. So it doesn't matter which side of the argument you take or even that you agree with it. It hardly matters. You can have the argument for disagreement, but just choose one side, whatever you have as your viewpoint. If you agree, develop some great arguments for it. If you disagree, come up with some concrete explanation and some great examples to justify your opinion. Right? Third is not supporting your opinion with clear reasons. Now, this is all about starting with one kind of view and then switching midway while writing the essay to another view. That means, suppose you started with supporting the agreement portion. Okay, and you're throughout the essay, you're talking about that I'm of the motion, I am in favor of this statement. And then midway, you changed your entire viewpoint, and now you have started talking about your disagreement. So you are kind of justifying your disagreement. Don't do that, guys. Make sure that you're not changing your opinion part way through the essay. Don't start giving reasons for the opposing view. Okay, so if you agree with something, stick to it. If you disagree, stick to the disagreement. Just take one stand. One firm stand is required for the opinion essay. You don't have to talk about both the views. You don't have to justify both the views. Okay? Just take one side of the argument. Now, after that, so when you keep all these things in mind, finally you will come. What do we have to discuss? What do we have to talk about? Okay, so identify that issue. Then you have to brainstorm your main points around that issue. After brainstorming, see, when you brainstorm, guys, a lot of points come into your head, but not everything you're going to include in your essay. So after brainstorming the main points, you will choose the best, and then you will try to include those best things. But just the best points won't do. You have to justify those best points. How would you do that? You have to plan your supporting points, and now is your explanation time. So taking best points out and then giving a solid explanation, and that explanation is your supporting points. You have to plan those supporting points. Those should be related to the main point. After that, once you're done collecting your main points and your supporting points, once you are ready with all the justification in head, please make sure that you are not just keeping things in head, guys. You are actually planning it on paper. See, you will be having the question paper, and there is absolutely no rule that you cannot scribble anything on the question paper. You can. So use that question paper as the rough one or as the planning detail paper. So after you're done with planning and choosing your main points and planning your supporting points, now is your time to organize all your paragraphs. Okay, so let's look into the structure of the essay. Now see, guys, this is your structure of the essay. Of course, if you remember the task 1, introduction was the first thing. So even in the essay question, you will have the introduction as the first paragraph. But herein, you will have a lot more detail than the report. After introduction, you have 2 body paragraphs in which you will include all your justification, your viewpoints. After that, the last paragraph will be the conclusion. See, the report question never had the conclusion, guys, but the essay question will have the conclusion. The reason is essay is opinionated. So you will bring in your opinion again. Okay? So let's see. What all is going to be there in the introduction? First thing, guys, you will paraphrase the essay question. If you remember, we used to paraphrase the report question. Similarly, we will paraphrase the essay question. So whatever question is there, we will write it in our own words. Another thing, since this is the opinion essay, clearly we have to give our opinion. So whatever the essay question says, if we can agree with it, we will give the opinion that yes, we agree with the statement. Or if we disagree, we can simply state about our disagreement. But we have to give in the opinion. And that is what we call as thesis statement, giving your opinion. Okay? So these things should be there in the introduction. Only then the introduction will get completed. After that, body paragraph 1 and 2. This will have the same structure, guys, both of these. What kind of a structure? So first thing, in the first body paragraph, you will bring in the first reason. Now see, in your introduction, you said if I'm agreeing to it or if I'm disagreeing to it. Now, if you agree, so bring out that first reason in support of your agreement. Okay, and then explain that first reason along with a concrete example. Similarly, in the body paragraph 2, you will outline the second reason in agreement of the essay question or statement. You will explain it concretely and then you will give a solid example. Now, example and explanation, please don't get confused between both of these. You have to explain it. And when I say explanation, guys, I'm talking about the supporting points in order to justify your argument, your reason that you have given. When you bring in the example, guys, you are even giving it more power. That see, I am giving you the evidence that these things have happened somewhere in some part of the world. Okay, I'm not just making it up, even if you're making it up. Now, when I say this, please carefully listen to me. Your examples need not to be factually true. They can be hypothetical examples. They can be imaginary, guys. Nobody is going to your home to check whether you gave the right example or not, factually true or not. See, this entire writing task is all about your control over language. So if you can show that control even while coming up with some hypothetical examples, go ahead with it. So yes, don't get confused between the explanation and example. Both are required in the body paragraphs. Once you're done with both the body paragraphs, you will come down to conclusion. Now, what is happening in conclusion, guys? Remember, your conclusion will have 3 parts. First, restate the thesis statement. That means you have to again mention about the same opinion you mentioned in the introduction. You will paraphrase and say the same thing, that I am still in agreement with the statement in the question. Okay? After restating your opinion, you will come down to summary. Now, how would you summarize? Summary is nothing but just writing the entire thing that you have talked about throughout the essay in lesser words. So just summarize everything. Make it a gist. Now, do not include any new point here. When you're writing the summary, guys, don't include any new point. You just have to summarize everything that you have done till now. Okay? After that, if you have certain kind of recommendation or some kind of prediction regarding the future, if you think that, yes, I can forecast that this is going to happen, bring that prediction. If you have some kind of recommendation for, say, the government, the civil society, bring that recommendation in your conclusion. Okay, so the conclusion will have these 3 parts. Apart from that, your introduction will have these 2. Paraphrase the essay question and you have to give your opinion. Get this structure of the essay clear in head. Once this is clear, guys, you are going to write an absolutely great essay. So now let's take up one example and try to plan the essay. Let's brainstorm certain points. Now let's plan the essay. So our step 1 would be to decide the opinion. If we are disagreeing or if we are agreeing with the statement given in the question. So let's look at the statement in the question. A big salary is much more important than job satisfaction. Do you agree or disagree? The moment you trace these words, guys, understand that this is an opinion essay. It could also be, to what extent do you agree or disagree? Okay? Now I have 2 sides to tackle. A big salary, job satisfaction. What do I have in mind? What is more important to me? So for me, clearly job satisfaction is more important. That is the reason I'm going to disagree with the statement that says that a big salary is more important and argue that job satisfaction is more important than the big salary. Now, once I have decided my opinion, I will come to step 2, and now I will analyze both the sides and try to brainstorm my points, generate my ideas. So let's look at both the sides: high salary jobs and job satisfaction. Now, in my opinion, high salary jobs are generally more stressful. There's too much of work and too many deadlines, which in turn leads to ill health, both mental and physical. A third of the day goes into work, so there's no personal time off. Money to me doesn't bring all the happiness in the world. It is important, but I don't run after it. On the other hand, I have job satisfaction. Now, of course, when I take job satisfaction as my base of life, I'm surely going to spend a life with a better quality because I'm giving time to my family, to my friends, and more importantly, to myself. Another thing, it gives me a sense of fulfillment because whatever efforts I'm trying to put into my work is definitely giving me some kind of contentment. So that is a big point. Third, of course, I'll feel less stressed, I will feel healthier and happier. Fourth, high productivity. See, when I'm working for myself, yes, I will follow a dedicated routine. But then, because I'm working for my own self and I'm super satisfied with whatever I'm doing, definitely my productivity will increase in comparison to the job wherein I have to submit the task the other day, the other minute, and I'm always under stress and those deadlines. I'm not sure about the quality of my work. I'm not sure about the productivity at all. Okay? So when I have all these points ready in my head, I will select the two because definitely I have more on my plate than what is required to be there in the essay. So I will become selective and choose two best main points for job satisfaction. And I'm going for sense of fulfillment and high productivity. Let's see that. So my idea 1 is sense of fulfillment, and idea 2 is that job satisfaction and productivity are closely related. Now see, now you have to come up with examples, and as I said, they can be hypothetical examples, imaginary examples. So let's see, my examples are researchers. See, they are passionate about their subject, and of course, whatever they are doing with their subject, be it science, art, or literature, whatever, it has to give them a sense of fulfillment, and that is exactly what they are getting out of their work. That is why researchers don't have that huge pay or wages in mind. They just go for job satisfaction. Another point is the highly paid corporates, and this one relates to the productivity point, guys. See, these are the people who are already getting huge salary. Still, they decide one day that they are leaving their jobs. Why? Because they're passionate about something else. They know that they have something else in mind. They're not having that satisfaction in this corporate job, no matter how much they're earning. Their intention, their aim is to serve the nation. Getting my point? And they are very sure about the hard work it demands. They're ready to put that hard work in. See, when they know that they have a clear goal in front of them, when they are sure about why they are leaving their jobs, then they know that all that dedication has to get turned into productivity. No matter how much they have to go through. For example, say these highly paid corporates want to compete for civil service examinations. Okay, so they know what amount of hard work they have to put in, but they are not afraid of that because they have that clear goal in their heads. They just have to turn each amount of their hard work and perseverance into productivity, and they are going to put that into their work. Then, after that, when I'm sure about all my points and I have taken my main points, thought about my supporting ideas, and also I'm ready with my examples, my step 3 will be to keep in mind high range vocabulary. Now, guys, look at this. Satisfaction can be fulfillment. I can write it as achievement, sense of accomplishment, contentment, content, sense of well being. Salary. can be written as income, wages, pay, earnings. Important can be crucial, has more meaning, valued, significant. Job, it can be work, employment, position, right? Now, when we have everything ready for us, let's try to break things down one by one. Introduction, both the body paragraphs and the conclusion, and let's see how I come up with one kind of essay. Now, let's come to the sample answer and see if I have done a good job. Introduction. So, introduction is demanding that I have to come up with a paraphrase version of the essay question. Along with that, I have to give my opinion. So, let's see. It is often argued that it is more advantageous to choose a job with high wage. More advantageous, so more important, even if it does not appeal to you at all. I completely disagree with this opinion, so I am not in agreement and think that job satisfaction is much more important than salary. Okay, so yes, I have paraphrased well and I have given my opinion. Introduction is bang on perfect. Now let's come to the body paragraphs. First of all, yes, I will use this linker because I have a lot to talk. So one by one, I will talk. First of all, I believe that job satisfaction gives people a sense of fulfillment, my first idea, that no money can guarantee. Even if someone is earning a high salary but feels tensed in compromises with his conscience, this person won't enjoy his life. Now I am bringing in my supporting points. So I have written about my sense of fulfillment idea. Now I will justify it through my explanation. Further, while pursuing one's interest will always bring pleasure and feeling of satisfaction. See, I've talked about someone feeling tensed and making a lot of compromises, but, so comparison, while the one who is pursuing his interest, he's definitely more satisfied in life and has a lot of pleasure in comparison to the other person. So this is nicely justified. Now I will bring in my example. For example, a lot of famous researchers made their career choices not because of appealing wages, but because they were passionate about science. That's why it is more important to choose the kind of work that makes you happy than to look only at a high salary. Well justified, well done. Second point. So second body paragraph, starting with another linking device, secondly. This secondly is actually connecting the information. So it's a great connector. Secondly, doing what you like keeps you motivated and therefore leads to a career growth. In other words, there is a strong relation between job satisfaction and productivity. My idea number 2. Now I will try to justify it with my supporting ideas. People who love their jobs can easily excel in their fields of work and achieve better results than those who put salary on the first place. See, there is a close relationship between job satisfaction and productivity because it's a field of their own choice. So for sure they're going to achieve better results. Now I will bring in my example. For instance, so this is another way to write for example. Okay, now I will bring in my example to talk about the relation between productivity and job satisfaction. So for instance, many highly paid corporates decided to leave their jobs despite a good wage. Despite, that means they were getting a good wage. Or instead of good, you can simply write huge wage. Okay? Or nice salary, or decent salary, or handsome salary, whatever. Despite a good wage, and endeavored means that they put attempts, they put their efforts in order to do something, and endeavored to become civil servants to serve their nation. So they were already highly paid, right? They were having this good wage, and despite that, they decided to leave their highly paid jobs just because they had the dream of becoming civil servants in their minds. They knew that they have to serve their nation. That is where their ultimate aim lies. They also knew that leaving this job, which is giving them a huge salary, is not an easy task. Because becoming a civil servant demands a lot out of you. It is going to be a story of perseverance, patience, but they're ready to put that all in. After enduring years, see, enduring years, that means they went through a lot during this time of their preparation. After enduring years of ups and downs, they became well groomed officers. Thus, advantages of jobs that keep you satisfied outweigh the drawback of a low salary. Of course, they might not be having that huge salary in comparison to their earlier job, but that doesn't mean that their productivity decreased all across their preparation. Also, it doesn't mean that they're not feeling fulfilled and contented. They are super satisfied because now they are doing what they really wanted to do instead of going all through about those deadlines. So it definitely keep you satisfied, and which keeps you satisfied outweigh the drawback of a low salary in a long-term perspective. This is how I'm done with my body paragraphs. Now I will conclude. To conclude, I strongly believe, again, I will give my opinion that I mentioned in the introduction. I strongly believe that job satisfaction is more important than a high salary. Again, I will justify it because it makes them feel contented and it keeps them motivated, and that is why they are more productive in whatever they're doing. And of course, they are not compromising with their conscience. They are feeling fully satisfied. Okay, also they are living their lives. So see, this is how we will divide all our paragraphs to write the opinion essay. Now, if you combine everything, you will have the sample answer. With this, guys, I will end this video. If you have any issues regarding the video or if you have not understood anything, you can reach out to me on Telegram, Facebook, Instagram, Gmail, or even the YouTube comment box. With this, I'll take your leave. Till then, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep sharing the knowledge. Do not forget to share the Telegram group ID, Malvika J English, because this is the place we interact through. I keep posting a lot of important documents, and also I am coming up with one very exciting writing competition, the details of which will be shared on the Telegram. You can have a chance to win huge prizes. Okay, so do join the Telegram group, share it with others, let them subscribe to the Telegram channel, also the YouTube channel, so that you can participate in the competition as well. Keep practicing, guys. With this, I'll bid you good night. Thank you. Take care. Ta-da!